Mikefield here, and we are going to overview a tier list, which is done in the collaboration with CloakedGoliath, FLAGELLANT, and also edited by OmniPeasant. So, we have CloakedGoliath here.
Hey, what's up, guys? I'm the CloakedGoliath. I stream Darkest Dungeon on Twitch every day. It's a pleasure to be here.
Okay, we have Sis as well.
Hello, everybody. I'm just Sis, and Plague Doctor is my wife.
Lovely. And the editing will be done as OmniPeasant, as I said. Let's just jump to the tiers. So we'll be discussing the tier list of Darkest Dungeon, which is Circus. And the makeshift division that we've done is as follows. So S tier is extremely powerful and irreplaceable in their role. A plus is very strong and reliable above average. A tier is going to be just strong, reliable character. B plus is strong but with some major weaknesses that can be easily exploited. And B, situational and fairly weak. And finally C, if we rank a character as C, is going to mean that it's just not viable. Okay?
Okay, this one I'm really on the fence about. Because he's very good at what he can do, but he's really, really bad in other positions. Also, Spotlight for his Red Skull trinket, the Bleeding Skull, sorry. It is garbage. It is hot garbage.
I literally didn't even know what that was, Chief.
It lowers the death blow.
No, I bring it up because I see more and more people use it. Yeah. That's why. So the Bleeding Skull is a trinket that it enables like +4 healing on all your rolls. Yeah. So you'll never get a 0. However, you cannot resist this debuff, nor can you remove it. But you lose 10% death blow resist, and it's permanent. Can't get rid of it, can't resist it. That is garbage. Hell no.
If you care that much about doing at least one healing, take stealth, bro. Just take stealth.
Yeah.
I mean,
yes, you're right. Stygian Embrace, I would say, is better than Word Reconstruction if you're going to do Bleeding Skull. But Stygian only has
you don't need Stygian. What I mean by that is, so the reason why people never take that is because if you heal 0, you're fucked. Sorry, Swen. You're not doing well if you heal 0. But if you use the other one, it always heals for 1. Stygian Embrace always heals for 1. You know?
Yeah.
So the trinket is just never needed, really. Anyway, enough about just that one trinket. Although I hate
it. Sorry, I had to explain because I hate it with the burning passion. I hate it so much.
I just went, that thing.
I got PTSD from that freaking trinket.
Hey guys, we did talk about the Occultist before as well, right? We did actually cover a lot of his trinkets, the markability and such. Where would you place him?
Depends what comp. It really depends what comp.
Oh god.
I think it depends. I really think it depends. If we're going to do a stress comp, I'd say put him in like A plus. If it's going to be like a mark comp, I'd say put him in B plus B, around there.
I think like he's the leper of stress comps, where if like a lot of things have to line up for him so that he can be effective, and like despite all the versatility, he also is slightly like the bounty hunter there, where he can actually just pull, right? He has the pull, he has a lot of flexibility, right? He has the heals, but actually just doesn't excel at any of those things. Like his healing is vastly unreliable. Like you push him forward, like suddenly his stress isn't that good. He's super squishy, vulnerable to stuns, bleeds, blights, damage. Like he just dies very quickly in those fights as well.
I think the coin flip with him here is that he dies, and if you could stealth yourself, he would easily be here, in my opinion. But
he's so
he relies on someone else to help him. But with that in mind, he can use almost all his abilities from rank 1, 2, 3, and 4. The only ones he can't use are the pull from 1 and the Abyssal Artillery.
Yeah.
And if you are taking a stress or mark style, by the time he gets pulled in, you don't mind using your single target stress, and you obviously don't mind using your sacrificial Chris. I think if you're having him on a team, he does need to be a little bit protected, unless... Yeah. I mean, quite often, there are kind of kamikaze builds with him, where you don't mind if he dies. He literally just stealth, then
clock out.
So much extra stress. I think stealth pushes him into A tier just because it's such a unique ability, and it enables lots of weak characters. It enables an awful lot of characters with no movement resist.
Yeah, at the same time, like I think on paper I agree with you, but in practice, whenever I see an occultist, he's just usually a corpse.
Yeah, and on the field, he falls a little flat. Like I said, that's why I said if we're gonna do like a stress only occultist, I would definitely say he goes in like AA plus. He does a lot of stress. He does it very quickly, and he can inflict horror as well. Absolute mad lad. But if we're gonna go for like, sorry, what were you gonna say, Mike?
No. I think he's like he has this kind of spot there. I think like he's quite similar to Grave Robber in like how in terms of the space he occupies. Mm-hmm. Like he works in those very few narrow team compositions for stress, and he can excel, but at the same time he's kind of sketchy. I feel like I think like on paper he just looks very good, but like in practice he just falls flat very often in those fights.
I think I might be a little bit biased here, just because Occultist is probably one of my most played characters, and I it's very, very rare that I think he was the issue. I think first off, when you kind of liken him to Grave Robber, you're doing his universality a giant disservice. I think he's one of the most easily splashable characters into almost any stress teams, and that's just because a lot of stress teams are inherently weak. A lot of stress team takes man-at-arms. You take the man-at-arms and you can guard your occultist if you want. That way he's fine for however many turns, because he's at the back. He can't really be guard broke that easily by anything other than a shield breaker. And also, he's one of the few that can reliably stack horror and do it very, very, very well. 3 of those, and you can push someone from Heart Attack to Deathstorm 1 turn and avoid any healing. Also, he's got the best single target stress nuke in the game, apart from Panic Dart Stealth.
Yep.
I think he's more universal than you think. I would say him and Occultist are kind of the same. He's the single target version of Occultist, where Occultist is more kind of AoE for, Antiquarian.
Wait, who's sorry? Okay. Sorry, I got confused.
Yeah.
So Antiquarian is kind of like, she can heal everyone a little bit and she can do a lot of stress to it, you know what I mean? But Occultist is more focused. I think that's the kind of similarity that is more prescient. And I think the fact that he's so splashable, he can even be put into a mark board. That's just fun. It's just fun.
It's fun, but it's not strong, right? It's not strong.
I mean, but Sacrificial Chris enables that.
Yeah, it does indeed. Okay, let's rank him. Let's just rank him, guys.
I'm still going to say B.
I definitely think he's A.
I think
he's easy on the same tier as a Shield Breaker and the Antiquarian, without a doubt, in my opinion.
Okay, so I think we rated PD as B, and this means I have to rank...
PD is C. Oh, PD is B, yes.
B, yeah. I have to rank the Occultist above, because I think he's like a notch above, like maybe even 2 notches for me. But like, in my mind, the PD is C tier, so I'm just gonna say B plus here. I have to say B plus.
I'm gonna agree. I say B plus because he does do things, and you know it's a common string. If you leave him alone, he's gonna do a lot. But sorry,
he doesn't need left alone.
Well, under pressure though, he falls very quickly. Like, you can stun him, you can move him around easy. He doesn't have a lot of health. His dodge is middle of the road at best.
His healing is just extremely unreliable as well. He also struggles. I think if he had like 5 skill slots for the Occultist, he would be good. But he does struggle with that. He's like a single skill short from excellence, I think.
I agree. I think A, but I'm probably a little bit biased towards him. I think he shines in a lot of situations.
HOUNDMASTER, guys, HOUNDMASTER. How do you feel?
A.
Okay, I'm gonna drop the rank here as well. I think he's A as well. I think he's A. He's on the same boat as the Antiquarian. Goliath, how do you feel? No,
I agree with both of you. I think he's A because like his Hound's Harry, pretty good. Like we know it was a staple of pretty early on stress comps. All in all, his kit is pretty decent. You can build him for dodge, build him to stun people. He has some sustain. He's got a little bit of everything. He's okay. Yep. A plus or A.
I think I would have put him in B plus if the Crimson Hook trinket didn't exist.
Agreed.
The Crimson Hook trinket exists. It almost makes me want to put him in A plus, just because it's so insanely strong to enable turn 1 4 bleeds rather on everyone, 25% stress on 2 characters in your team.
And it crits as well sometimes. The crits are amazingly strong.
Yeah.
Like I actually had like 35 crits on the first turn. Like people are like halfway through the stress bar with just a Hound's Harry and the Bellow. It's insane. You can also actually command. You can drop. I think that's a very, very good strategy. I've been doing this recently because I've been struggling playing stress. I started dropping command with the MAA just to bolster this accuracy a little bit, and dropping the Hound's Harry afterwards. It's like the added crit chance and the added accuracy actually make up for like all the shortcomings that he may have.
I think in the same vein as the accuracy thing, he's got perfect itemized trinkets in that whistle. 12 accuracy and bleed. Perfect.
I think even a defensive Houndmaster has the I'm sorry, can't find the word. He has the potential for the highest dodge that anyone can achieve in the game. I've seen 112 dodge Highwayman or Houndmaster. It's ridiculous. You can't hit him unless you have like a 200 accuracy Arbalist.
It does require you to spam guard every turn. I think that is true. I don't really think you can even. He's very vulnerable. I think
in a dodge comp though.
I've seen repose comps use that. They just spam the protection. They spam just the guard with the Houndmaster, and just they abuse the repose of the man at arms or the highwayman. It's crazy sometimes. It's very difficult to deal with that as well because you need to stun the Houndmaster to do this, or you have to just guard break, right? Which is more likely something that's going to work for you. And he has the self healing as well. The lick wounds is very good. The regen stacks. It's actually versatile as well because you just get this immediate healing, and on top of that you also get very, very heavy regen, which can really just kind of work on over the course of the following 2 turns to just keep you alive consistently if you time it well.
What do we think about his stun and where he's positioned? Like, do you put him in 3 or 2?
What do you mean? Oh, the Houndmaster.
Yeah, of course.
I think he works in every rank. I actually ran a comp where he was frontline, like in the very first spot, and he was still okay. Though he cannot lick wounds.
He can't heal in position 1 though.
He can't. But I had like this very specific setup that I think it was like Abomination second, where I just moved the A-bomb to the front if I needed anything as far as healing the Houndmaster went. So I think it's okay everywhere, maybe except for the front. Really, like the front is kind of a borderline case, really. But he's just strong in every position. He can Hound's Harry from everywhere. He can stun. He's like a lot of abilities that just work, all across the board.
Oh, someone in chat brought up a good point. His resist too. We haven't touched those yet.
His stun rate is very high base stun.
Yeah, very high base stun. I feel like he has like what 40% debuff resist, right? That's actually not half bad. That's pretty good.
No.
Especially effective against Bellow because one Bellow and his Hound's Harry won't proc Death Door.
Yeah, exactly. And that's he has some pretty good resist. They're obviously not all amazing, but which ones are on any character? So pretty fine across the board. Most of my experience from Houndmaster is from fighting against him. Admittedly, I don't use Houndmaster too much, but I've seen what he's capable of, against my teams. So yeah, I say A. I think he belongs in A.
I'm gonna stick with A as well, guys. Flagellant.
Yeah.
I think Flagellant definitely has to be. He can do so much at the same time. He has very good dots, very tanky. His sustain is like it's amazing. Imagine freaking healing your team just for being hit. You save your people from death's door 1 time every round. That's amazing, dude. That's great.
Gonzalo Absolution.
Yes.
Healing distress for taking damage, right? It's just ridiculous. And also the healing bonus it gives
single best item in the game.
Yeah, I think it is one of the best, definitely.
It's really good.
I think the finest thing about Flagellant is that he is potentially the biggest brain character to play, because the way he has these like unwritten rules, basically, where if you come out of Death's Door, your death blow resist is restored. When you go into Death's Door as well, you heal your team. So quite often you can make it so you pick him, he heals 2 people on your team out of Death's Door just for free, and then he can still do an ability. And when he heals himself out, his death blow resist goes back up to 80%.
Yeah. crazy stuff.
And
He has
One
very
thing is,
high
though, is that-
resistances as well. Like he has very decent baseline stats, right? High resist, high HP base. Just you put snap on him, he's really difficult to move and stun reliably anyway. So I think he's like very powerful overall.
Well, one thing that does really hurt him, unless he's weakened, he cannot do anything in 3 and 4.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
if you have anyone that can pull, like people, he's in 2 turns, he's going to be completely useless, and he'll be stuck moving people back. Or yeah, he'll be stuck wasting a turn moving.
But he has the longest move in the game, I think. He just moves
True,
4
yeah.
forward, right? So it's or 3 forward.
It's still a wasted turn, though.
Without
Yeah, it is.
exotic snuff, though, he's very open to being pushed as well.
Yeah.
But usually people do run exotic snuff, so
Yeah.
it's not that big of an issue.
What I'm seeing a lot more in him now, actually, isn't running snuff. They run I think it's called the Crown of Thorns,
Yeah,
where it
just-
does bleed damage to
I've
itself.
seen that too.
That's it also makes up for his kind of innate lack of accuracy.
Yep.
It gives high crit damage. I think he's a very strong character, especially if you mix him with someone like the Antiquarian where you can force guard.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Crazy
wow.
stuff, indeed.
Wowie, zowie.
Okay, where do you guys put him?
I think A+. He's got insane tech. If you play him properly, he can single-handedly win you the game. He can heal everyone out of Death's Blow. He can keep pushing himself out of Death's Blow. He can do damage to himself to proc his own healing. He's insane.
I personally feel like he's an A, because like despite all these things, he just doesn't have that much utility other than just straight up damage and healing, right? He doesn't have any sort of control. He lacks versatility in this regard. He just doesn't bring much to the team other than just, conditional healing and very high damage. Because damage, like, he can overwhelm you very easily if you don't pay attention to him. But at the same time, like, his healing is conditional. So if someone plays very well around it, he's like, this targeted damage, and he just, ignores the flagellant, just goes for your squishies first. I think he'll have a lot of success. I've actually seen teams that run him as this main core healer. And then, like, if you just ignore the flagellant, go for those, squishy targets, you really won't do that much.
The ability Reclaim, I think it's called, does exist for a reason as well. He's another one of these characters where you do kind of run foul of the I want more than 4 abilities on him rule. But I think with finesse and a giant brain, he's definitely A+. But I think the ability to pull it off consistency, no one can really do.
Yeah.
So I think for that reason, he's probably an A.
Yeah, so Goliath, decide, A or A+.
I'm going to go with A. What he does well, but he doesn't have much else after that.
Okay, Musketeer.
I want to like her so bad.
I don't even want to like her, seriously.
I want to like her so bad, but it's like Arbalest's little sister.
Yeah. Like,
She-
does everything worse than her, doesn't she?
Literally everything.
She literally everything. She can't even clear stun. Disgusting. Put her to the back, dude.
And like, since she kind of works in the same position, really, do you want to have a Musketeer when you can have an Arbalest? And then if you have an Arbalest, do you really still want to have a Musketeer on your team? Because I don't think so.
The only thing she has up on Arbalest is that she can cure Blight. Oh, and she has AoE. Not AoE. Sorry, she buffs her own all healing done to one target. That's the only thing. Sorry, that's with the iodine trinket. You can cure Blight.
Okay. Yeah. But again, if you're taking the Musketeer, the only time I think I've ever seen her taken is with an Arbalest, right? Have you ever seen her without an Arbalest? Somebody knows what they're doing.
The only time I see her in use is the bot. So
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, guys. So I do think,
With Arbalest, you're playing against the bot.
what tier do we give her?
Come on, she was
I say
invented for her. She was invented for her.
C stands for
Oh my
Musketeer.
god, yeah.
What were they thinking?
Vestal. I was actually very skeptical about her at first, because when I started playing the game, for like, healing isn't that useful at all, and I didn't realize how much power in terms of stun she had. And she's the best stun character, like single-handedly the best stun character in the game. The best trinkets available, the most reliable stuns, reaches 3rd rank, and she can just basically keep people stun locked with this 50% total stun chance. So how do you guys feel about her?
I mean, she got an upgrade from PvE. She went from healbot to stunbot, so she does not have good resistances in the sense of being like stunned or moved.
Yeah.
You can chain stun her. Once you bring her to position 2, her utility drops. All you gotta do is bring her to 1 and she can't. No, yeah, that's true. There's been someone in my chat that specifically baits people out because they don't pay attention to skills. And they made a melee Vestal and put her in position 3.
But the
and then when they pulled them to 1,
a melee Vestal is still called garbage. Though, I think.
Some people in my chat swear by it. She has some good synergy between her 2 melee moves.
Crazy.
But all in all, she loses heal, she loses stun if she's in position 1. Yeah. So
I think melee Vestal is a meme, right? We can agree on that.
She is a meme.
It is a meme. Yeah, it is a meme.
Yeah. I honestly think like her stun alone, like she kind of stands out as the only character can. Okay, Abomination can do this too, but she can stay safe and stun rank 3. I think that and her healing is pretty solid as well. You have to remember about that. She has AOE healing that can basically just remove everybody from death's door AOE. Can somebody else do that?
She can cure horror as well.
I was going to say that. Yeah, she's one of 2 people that can cure horror. The only other one being
right?
Crusader. Yeah.
So I've recently started to play an awful lot more Vestal, and I've found that she is incredibly powerful. She basically enables an awful lot of control variants.
She does.
So she's a bit of a stun bot, but that stun needs to be kind of leveraged properly. If you just stun random people, who cares, you know?
Yeah.
You want to like get some DOTs running, and again, whilst she does have low stun resist and low movement resist, you will be taking her and you'll be stunning.
Yep.
So the first person no one can stun her in rank 4 right off the bat. She can only be moved. Yeah. You can stun anyone that moves you first.
Yep.
And also with a Crusader, the synergy is insane. They work so insane. You take her, the Crusader, and even like a Jester and a Flagellant or something, you know?
Bring Houndmaster. They can't move their team turn 2. They can't do anything. Triple stun.
Her accuracy is insane as well. Like she's the only character can use reliably to stun a Jester. She basically can control the Jester. She makes the Jester her bitch. And the same goes for for removing guard, because stun removes guard. She can reliably remove guard of the Houndmaster. She can really manage the shield breaker very easily as well in those fights. Like she stuns the shield breaker, keeps her stunned. If that's your priority, here you go. I think that kind of gives her a very high tier naturally, just because she can manage those high threats, those high threat characters, right?
A very unnoticed thing as well is she has Illumination, which both removes stealth and minus 30 dodge.
True.
So let's say you have a Jester who's trying to go for a crazy finale on you. You keep missing a stun or something with a Crusader. Illumination, pop. If you have an Occultist, he pop bot. Bye-bye, LOL. If you have Grave Robber, pop bye-bye. The synergy of dodge and stealth, it hits them both. It just disables a character.
Yeah. Also, Vestal plus Jester, like the Ballad, right? You drop the Ballad, you have the Vestal. Like, this is 95% hit chance on every target. Almost every target in the game, I feel. That's very powerful. Like you can just rely on that. That's like the most reliable stun. Like she just goes way ahead of the Crusader in that regard. That's insane reliability. And I think that's like in DD, if you can have this reliable disable on the enemy Jester, this is huge. This cannot be undervalued. Like this can only be counteracted by very well placed Arbalest Flare, right? That's the only thing that can actually handle the Vestal very well.
I think in general too, the utility of the stun, you can stun someone that would be moving the Jester into position 2,
Yeah.
So you can just ruin 2 turn economies with 1 turn. Simply.
Okay, guys, so where do we put her?
I'm gonna say like Vestal, there's no denying she's really strong. She commands a lot of space. But she really can't do much without having, the boys protecting her, the boys that getting in the taking up those slots. I'd say she's like B+.
What do you mean by that? Protecting her?
As in like filling up position 1 to 3. If
she's only usable in rank 4. You mean? I get you.
Yeah, if she's in rank 3, she's already exposed. She can get stunned there. She can get moved to position 1. Like she's in a big. She takes a big threat. She's a big. She's under a lot of pressure, right? Yep. If she's anywhere except position 4, and she doesn't have a lot of offensibility. She doesn't really need it because of what she brings and what she can do. Like, that's what other people are for, but by herself, the most you can do is just stun and keep yourself alive.
She doesn't do damage, but she has offensive utility.
That's true.
Okay,
well, Illumination
doesn't
do a lot of damage, but while it does...
A+. She is A+. She really is A+.
I'm going to say B+.
Whoa! Okay, I think I just have to go in the middle here. I think she's A. It's crazy. Like
she's so much better than the Shield Breaker.
I wouldn't say that. I don't. I think they occupy 2 completely different spaces. I don't think it'd be very fair to compare the 2.
Yeah.
Just what a tier list does, pal.
well, yeah, but.
I mean, okay. So I think, like in many regards, she's like Crusader, but at the same time, she just doesn't provide enough damage. But at the same time, like with how prevalent the Jester is, I might actually agree with Sis and say she's A+. Because, like, I think she's just one of the very few characters can actually just put the nail in the coffin on the Jester, just keep him, checked for the duration of the fight until he's killed off. And I think that's just huge. It's just a huge, huge advantage for you. Since Jester is usually going to be the biggest threat for basically any composition there is. Also,
Jester also has 55% debuff resist, so even if he does get hit by Illumination, it might not hit.
Yeah, but you don't need to illuminate the Jester, just keep spamming the Dazzling Light on him and he's always going to be stunned.
No, that's true.
So he has 5% chance to resist it after having this 50% buff that he gains from being stunned. So, like, that's kind of similar. Like, she is one of those characters that can keep somebody stun locked for the duration of the fight. We're talking about the Abomination, right? Also, like, she can deny the turn of the Leper, right? Which is also very big. Or she can just deny Leper a turn, where every single Leper's turn matters to a huge, huge extent, right? Abomination as well being controlled, right? She can control the Crusader, the BH. Like, she basically can stun anybody in this game. Even the Man-at-Arms can be stunned by the Vestal. Like, you can just have her chain stun. Okay, she cannot chain stun the MAA, but she can stun him nonetheless with quite a large degree of reliability. Like 20% chance to resist is quite low, in fact. Like,
Ballesta is the only character that she really does kind of get rock, paper, scissors by in that regard.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, that's good because there's not many counters to stun.
Yeah.
Stun luck is degenerate. Stun luck is very degenerate.
Yeah. I agree.
Okay, let's drop her to A+. I think I actually just personally like her as well, just based on how reliable she is and how little reliability we have in the Circus. I think she's just a kind of shining light in the tunnel very often, where she can just kind of salvage a lot of bad situations just by you being confident you can hit that stun every single time. That's huge. I don't think I've missed too many Dazzling Lights at all. And that's just kind of a huge asset.
Yeah, with the stun trinket, you get like base 115.
I think I hit a 110% a couple of days ago and just thought, I didn't even know I could do that. I just wanted to get Death Blow.
Okay, Hellion. That's the last character, guys. This last character. How do you feel about the Hellion?
Underpowered.
Yeah.
She's Plague Doctor, I think.
I actually tried to make her work today because I had this one fight where she used the bleed out, I think, on the very first turn. She did like 35 damage to my A-bomb like straight away. I didn't realize how much actually she had in that skill. It does a huge amount of HP. Like, and she also gains this buff over time where she gains the additional damage based on like whether the target is bleeding or not, right? Like the 33% bonus damage is huge. And that's just if you get it just if you use the breakthrough. So she has like a lot of potential, but I think there are quite a few weaknesses that she has, like the very low HP pool, quite poor resistances, like the move resist being like very, very low, right?
Her stun is actually very good.
55%, I think, right?
It's pretty decent, yeah. But like again, like you get the Vestal, you stun her every time, right? So kind of or even a Crusader can reliably control Hellion.
She gets 105%. There's a
the thing
chance.
with base stun resist is it's maybe not the first stun, it's whether you can be stun locked.
Yeah,
And without like 2 stun trinkets, you can't stun lock her.
Okay.
Even I've actually, since for people that run Sacred Blade an accusation or the writ of execution, I'm sorry, they've tried to stun lock a Hellion I've been working on, and they wouldn't even get the first stun in.
No.
She would just continuously resist.
Snuff Breakthrough is a very good build. I mean,
yeah.
I think we might think she's a bit underpowered because we've not really seen her used enough. I think the Breakthrough DOT build has the potential to be insanely strong.
I tried it though.
It doesn't quite work, I think.
No.
I don't think we quite get it though. I don't think it just doesn't work. I agree. We've figured out how it works.
I think she just looks. She's one of those characters again that looks good on paper, but in reality, she just struggles really hard. And
in the same, sorry, Mike. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, in the same vein as Mike, I've been trying to work a little something with Hellion, and her death blow chances on all her basic moves are almost as good as Bounty Hunter. 30%, 40% across the board. It's ridiculous, right? Combined with some of her trinkets that already enable plus 10, plus 20%, she's pretty much like a worse Bounty Hunter. I can't say she's like even close to his level. Bounty Hunter can do a lot more than she can, but I think you just need to find the right comp for her and for her to shine. But that's the problem, is finding the right comp for her.
I almost think we might need to start working like right after this call on a single target Hellion build, because she's really strong single target, and the Iron Swan is one of the few things that can reliably get a death blow on the back line, right? Finish him can't do that.
I've been running the Executioner Halberd, whatever it's called, and the finisher trinket on her, and she does a lot of damage by herself.
Yeah,
but she has really bad damage ranges though. Like, it's very broad. Like, it's super unreliable. She has very high highs, but extremely low lows at the same time. It's very hard to tell what she's gonna do on any given turn. You really need to have like this kind of sort of predictability on your characters as well. I think she has the same problem as the Leper, but Leper just does way more damage.
I think they're both thematically underpowered, if that makes sense. Like the Hellions, I just don't like that. I don't like that about it.
Hellion's single target damage though is nothing to scoff at. Especially paired with a shield breaker, I've gotten her crit chance up to 55-56% within 2 turns. With her exposing anything, and then having her base crit chance, she's already slamming people pretty consistently with crits, 29-30 damage on single target. That in and of itself is terrifying to see. Like, I have not crit. And I've not crit that often with any other character.
She's almost an anti-stress kind of helper, because if you start off in the third, you break through, you're probably going to like 6 crits.
Yeah, but keep in mind you also lose a lot of damage. I think the debuff on breakthrough is kind of silly. It already doesn't do insane damage.
That's true.
I don't think it should have a debuff on it.
The days alone is way too much, I think, already. Yeah. I think this should have carried over from the main game. I don't think it should have carried over from the main game at all.
Yeah, I don't think so as well.
Yop
is good. Okay. It's good against. Hold on, before we talk about Yop, who thought it was a good idea to have that be listed as a melee move?
Yeah, what?
Dude, Crushed Hemlock should not proc with Yop. It should not. I'm sorry.
Wait, does it proc with Yop?
Yeah, Crushed Hemlock does proc with Yop.
See, I've never actually seen this interaction in my life.
It's a melee. Yeah, it's a melee attack, so it counts, and it's so annoying to watch.
It's so weird.
It's like minus 30 accuracy, like bleeding for 4 every turn, or blighting for 4. It is weird, but I've seen people do it.
She does work well with Plague Doctor, and this is like, if you kind of make a misfit combo, like my first D1 team, they almost work. They almost do work, and it's you love seeing their dysfunctional little family. Just like, the Plague Doctor's being pulled. Oh, we break through, yay! it just doesn't work. It's not.
Right.
Okay, so where do we place her? B.
Yeah, I
think she's B. Yeah, I actually tried really hard to make her work. It's just no avail, guys. No avail.
I would love to find a comp that works with her, though.
Yep.
We need to work on it then, pal. Who else is going to do it?
Yeah, no, I've already been trying a few things, but you know, so far still working. Things are still getting results. You know what I mean?
Okay, guys, I think it's time we just wrap it up. So, how do you guys feel about the existing TL? Do you agree with the majority of it then?
I think we shouldn't change it because it looks like a heart. So
Yeah, it just stays. It just stays this way.
You'd like to swap shield breaker with occultist, so that is my opinion.
Okay, guys, so once again, thank you so much for collaboration on this one. Like, you gave this 2 hours of your time, and so did I. I think we're pretty happy with the outcome. What I will try to do, okay, let's just kind of wrap it up quickly. So, Goliath, would you like to self-advertise a little bit right now, perhaps?
Sure. First of all, thank you for having me, Mike and Sis. I appreciate you bringing me to this call. You know, twitch.tv/CloakedGoliath. I'm live every day. And again, thank you guys for bringing me on. I appreciate it.
Okay, I'm very happy with how it went in general, guys. So once again, if you did enjoy watching this material, remember to follow and subscribe. Check out the links below in the description for all our socials. So you can find CloakedGoliath there, you can find me there, like the Twitch, the YouTube, right? Remember to follow and subscribe on both of those. Also, there's going to be the link to OmniPeasant, who is going to be responsible for editing this huge 2-hour bit. I don't know how he's going to handle this. I'm very curious, honestly. And we're very sorry, OmniPeasant. We're very sorry, OmniPeasant. And
2 hours.
Yeah, I think he'll just go by, you know, every 10 or 15 minutes, he'll just kind of put something interesting in. And that's going to be it for us today, I think. So thank you for watching once again, guys, and see you later.
Bye-bye.
And, well, especially, by the way, guys, thank you so much for participating. This was really huge.
It's always a pleasure, Mike. Always a pleasure.
Could we do something like this for like every season? I'd really appreciate coming back on. I like this a lot.
I love fun.
Definitely.
Yeah, especially because they've planned some changes for.
Indeed.
I think they said there would be some changes for the next season. I'd look forward to that.
PDS boys, PD hegemony.
Dude, I'm telling you.
Stop recording, guys. I'm gonna go off the recording now. Okay. Guys, this is it for the first part of the tier list. I hope you enjoyed watching it. Stay tuned for more. Remember, all the links for our socials are provided in the description below. If you enjoyed the video, remember to follow me on Twitch, subscribe to me on YouTube, follow Goliath on Twitch as well, and also go to OmniPeasant and give his Mimi channel some love. Thank you guys so much. See you around.